I've not been able to sleep, not been able to eat. I can barely speak.
As you probably guessed from the title, we're diving into the new faces and juicy twists coming in Bridgerton Season 4. But here's the real question: could some big book moments make it into the new season? If you're curious about what they are and how they might play out, stick with us till the end of the video, because we're digging into stuff most channels don't even touch. Heads up though, there will be some book spoilers, so watch at your own risk. Oh, and we're also talking about what the Bridgerton star had to say about Kate and Anthony's screen time in Season 4. With all that said, I think that's enough to get you hooked, so let's jump in, shall we? Let's kick things off by clearing up what we actually mean when we say Bridgerton star Simone Ashley has addressed Kate and Anthony's screen time in Season 4. Basically, Simone, who plays the sharp and confident Kate Sharma, recently opened up about what fans can expect from her and Jonathan Bailey's characters in the next chapter of Netflix's hit Regency-era drama. If you've been following Bridgerton, you know the show has blown up thanks to its steamy love stories, lush settings, and gorgeously dramatic fashion. And after Kate and Anthony's whirlwind romance dominated Season 2, and they popped back in with a big reveal in Season 3, it makes sense that fans are curious about what comes next for them. Especially since Season 4 is pivoting toward Benedict and Sophie's love story, which means our favorite Viscount and Viscountess may not be front and center this time around. So what did Simone actually say? While promoting her upcoming 2025 rom-com, Picture This, she chatted with Screen Rant and dropped a few breadcrumbs about Season 4. According to her, she and Jonathan Bailey have filmed a couple of times, and even though it's not a full season of Spotlight, she sounds genuinely excited. Not just for herself, but for the new leads, Luke Thompson and Yaren Ha, who she says have been working really hard to bring their romance to life. She said, "We filmed a couple of times now, and I'm just so excited for the world to see everything that Yaren and Luke have been up to. They're leading the season, and every time I come back, I get a glimpse of what they're doing. And I'm excited for people to see the next part of Kate and Anthony's journey too." Now, what does this mean in practical terms? Well, it seems Kate and Anthony are stepping into more of a supporting role for Season 4. But they're not disappearing entirely, which is comforting. Based on where Season 3 left off, with the couple expecting a baby, it makes sense their storyline would slow down a bit. They're probably knee-deep in parenting duties, so if they do pop up, it's likely with their new bundle of joy in tow. This shift also fits the usual Bridgerton formula. Each season centers on a different sibling's love story, which helps keep things fresh. Too much screen time for one couple can lead to things feeling repetitive. So, while longtime fans might miss the sizzle between Kate and Anthony, this pivot gives us space to fall in love with a new couple and builds anticipation for whenever Kate and Anthony do show up again. So what's the bigger picture for Season 4? Benedict and Sophie are stepping into the spotlight this time. Based on Julia Quinn's novel An Offer from a Gentleman, their romance promises to mix class differences with a bit of Cinderella magic. Author Julia Quinn has teased that the scripts are strong, which bodes well for fans of the books and newcomers. But that's not all Season 4 might have in store. There are some big emotional beats from the books that fans are hoping to see brought to life, especially involving Francesca and Eloise. Let's start with Francesca. The end of Season 3 introduced us to Michaela Sterling, a gender-swapped version of Michael Sterling from the book When He Was Wicked. And if you know the book, you know things get complicated after the death of Francesca's husband John. In the novel, Francesca finds out she's pregnant right after John passes, meaning the title of Earl doesn't pass to Michael. Instead, it stays with Francesca's child. Netflix might skip some of the book's details now that they've introduced Michaela instead of Michael, but the emotional weight can still work. One key moment they need to include is Francesca turning to Michaela after suffering a miscarriage. In the books, this moment reveals how much Francesca relied on Michael, emotionally and as a friend, even before she acknowledged any deeper feelings. That scene, reimagined for Francesca and Michaela, would go a long way in establishing their bond before romance is even on the table. Then there's Eloise. Her storyline has veered far from the books, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. In To Sir Philip with Love, Eloise runs off to meet Sir Philip, hoping to figure out if marriage is in the cards. That ends up being her love story in the book, but the TV version of Eloise? She's independent, sharp-tongued, and not exactly someone who's dreaming about wedding bells. Still, even if the show decides to take her down a totally different romantic path, there's one emotional scene from the book worth adapting. After Eloise disappears, the Bridgerton brothers, yes, all of them, track her down to Gloucestershire to make sure she's not ruining her reputation. Once they find her, Anthony ends up having a real heart-to-heart with her. She admits to feeling left behind after Colin and Penelope's whirlwind romance and wedding. That honest moment between siblings could be a powerful addition to the show, especially given how little screen time Anthony and Eloise have shared lately. Now, let's shift to some behind-the-scenes updates. Netflix recently shared some fun peeks into production for Season 4, and there are a few surprises. One of the biggest reveals? We get to see the Lee family, a brand new household introduced for the show. In a new image, Eloise and Hyacinth are seen hosting Rosamund and Posey Lee, played by Michelle Mao and Isabella Way. These characters weren't in the original books, so their addition seems like an effort to flesh out the supporting cast and build up characters like Hyacinth, who's mostly been in the background so far. Another new image shows Eloise and Penelope strolling through town together, proof that their rocky friendship may be healing. That's huge, considering how things ended in Season 3. So what does all of this mean? Basically, Bridgerton is doing what it does best: planting seeds. Past seasons have always spent time developing characters before giving them their own central arcs. Benedict, for example, didn't just appear out of nowhere in Season 4. His story has been building for years. The same strategy seems to be happening now with Eloise and Hyacinth, setting the stage for future seasons centered on their romances. But there's more to the behind-the-scenes scoop. A new set video confirms that Season 4 is well underway and features returning faces like Luke Thompson, Hannah Dodd, and Victor Ali, alongside newcomer Yaren Ha. All in all, Season 4 is shaping up to be another richly layered chapter in the Bridgerton saga. Whether it's adapting key emotional scenes from the books, exploring new character arcs, or setting up future leads, the show isn't slowing down anytime soon. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.